Welcome to another episode of It's Debatable NBA edition. I am your host, Justin Jones, here with co host Sebastian, and we are fresh off Fanatics Fest. It was last weekend, but we have not recorded since that event. Talk to us, Seb, just about the whole experience. You started taking pictures with random kids. Like, I'm not saying like a pedophile, but it was just very strange, right? Talk to us
See,
about this.
that's your problem. That's your problem. That's your
No, what do you
problem.
mean?
I told you about you and how the way you be wording shit, bro. I told you
No,
about
I'm
that.
not wording it
Now,
anyway. I'm
why the fuck
saying we
every
were. Hold
time
on,
you
okay, hold on,
start an
hold on. Let me
episode?
just clarify, because don't get me hyped up. What I'm trying to say is, we went to Fanatics Fest, correct?
All right.
Did you not take a picture with a young girl? Just yes, no, no,
Anyways,
no, no, no,
anyways,
no, no.
anyways. No, 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 bro. Why are you so weird, nigga? All right. So fuck all that, bro. Because this once the episode is out, the episode is out. So I'm gonna say it like this. Yes, a mother and her daughter approached me and said, "Would you care to take a picture with my daughter?" Me being surprised because I'm a nobody. But shout out to the mother and the daughter though. They made me feel like I was a star or something though. They asked me to take a picture. I took a picture. Yes. But when you word it like that, bro, come on, bro. We live in a generation where niggas find that type of shit weird, bro. Like you can't be doing
Yo,
that, bro.
yo, yo. First of all,
You can't be doing that, bro.
first of all. We all know you're not that kind of guy, but
The
I
fuck?
we be trolling on the show, bro. Like I can't really like
Nah,
word
we
it
can't.
like
We
word it
can't. We
any other
can't be
way, bro.
trolling like that, bro. You know the people. You know people out there are weird, bro. You know people out there are weird though. But I do want to
So
thank the mother and the daughter for definitely taking time just to take a picture with me, bro. Who knows? I might pop one day. They might look back in and be like, "Yo, we got a first picture with Seb." Feel me? So like that was a cool experience, bro. That's the last thing I was expecting though. Shoot. When I'm just looking back at that day, bro, it was like that was a great event, bro. I'm not gonna lie, like. Bro, we ran into so much different personalities, so much like different fans. It wasn't just fans from New York; it's just fans from Philly. Like we had fucking Pittsburgh Steeler fans, Kansas City Chiefs fans, niggas wearing fucking the Baltimore Orioles fans, bro. So just the experience itself. Shout out to Mike Rubin and just the weekend that he had for Fanatics. It looked like everybody had from the celebrities to the sports athletes to even just the fans, just you name it, anybody that was there was there. Ran into a bunch of IG content creators, the fake Stephen A. Smiths of the world, the fake Kendrick Perkins, Stephen A. Smith's nephew. Like it was just a countless bunch of interactions, a lot of good vibes though. Overall, great weekend though.
is the connection good? You back?
Yeah.
Keep going, bro. Go ahead.
Now I was just saying how it was just like a great weekend, just the experience that we had. Just connecting with everybody, just just walking around and just really interacting with a bunch of fans, asking a bunch of questions. I look back and watch the vlog, and I'm like, yo, damn, it was that's a great time. The only one thing I had a problem with was the LeBron glazing. The LeBron glazing was at an all-time high, bro. I'd never seen something like this. You remember? So I'm gonna share a story. So me and Justin, we're watching Braun do his podcast with Steve Nash, and this guy behind us is like this. My life is complete. So so it was like, all right, cool. Feel me?
All right,
Like,
hold on. But on the contrary, I did say that same thing.
yeah. Which yeah, I said, all right. I'm like, all right, bro. I'm like, all right, bro. All right, bro's glazing. All right, cool. The nigga goes on to say, "This is better than meeting God." I said, bro, get out, get out, get out. He's like, I said, bro, get the fuck out. Like, now I get mad because it's like, bro, I know it's Braun, but it's like, chill, bro. Like, the nigga sound like he's about to pass out. He's like, yo, this is better than meeting God. My life is complete. I could die right now. I said, what the fuck? But the Brown Glazer was at an all time high. If it wasn't from him, then it was from you. Then it was from fucking Tyler and Cash Nasty having a tug of war about who loves LeBron more. Oh man, though. Shout out to Braun though. He definitely shook up the city with that one though. But where's the Steve Nash love, bro? Everybody's like, Braun. I ain't see not one Steve Nash jersey. None
Nah,
of
listen, bro.
that.
Steve Nash. Shout out to Steve Nash. It was definitely good to see him too live. It was just LeBron's just just on a different type of level. You
I
feel me?
could tell, bro.
I definitely loved that LeBron energy that was there, right? We definitely was going around asking, Michael Jordan or LeBron, and surprisingly, was getting more LeBron than Jordan fans. Um, yeah, it was just a great experience. I don't want to cut you off, bro. If you want
No,
to,
no, no. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
no, I was just saying like the whole thing was just a great experience. Just shout out to you for just helping. It's debatable. Just make this happen, and oh shit. My fault. Just shout out to you for helping us make that happen, and Fabian, the man behind the camera, that was getting all the footage. To your point, we met a lot of cool people and met a lot of cool fans, and just made a lot of good connections. You brought up the fake Stephen A. It was definitely cool to see them. I got to hug fake Kendrick Perkins. It was surprising that Molly wasn't there. But it was just cool to see them. You also talked about Stephen A's real nephew, Josh, right?
Yeah,
Right, shout out to him. He definitely showed a lot of love. Really was a diehard Knicks fan. Definitely was representing. Unlike you, who is a bandwagon Knicks fan, it was definitely good to see true sports fan just embracing their teams. We also seen at the beginning, like once we first got there, James Harden and Drewski, um, they was getting shots up, correct?
yeah.
Right. So it was definitely cool to see them, and then they went to the what's the thing called?
The little
Well,
punch. Yeah, I know. I know what you're talking about.
the punching bag thing. Trey Murphy was also there.
Weirdo.
Oh, say it again.
Trey Murphy, you a weirdo for that.
Oh, go ahead, talk your shit, bro. If you
Nah,
got something
nah,
to
nah, nah.
say to
Yeah,
Trey
Trey,
Murphy,
Trey,
but
yeah, Trey, yo, Trey Murphy, come here. Come take this walk with me. Come take this walk with me, bro. Listen, bro. I get you're an NBA player. I get all that, bro. But you're not on that level to where you could just ignore fans, bro. It's called fanatics for a reason. If fans say what up to Trey Murphy and you over here turning your back on niggas, you're not that guy, pal. Trust me. Trey, don't get me wrong. You nice on the court. But you're not that nigga yet, bro. You're not that superstar level nigga to where you, because if James Harden can interact with the fans, Trey Murphy, you damn sure you might as well stay in the crowd with the fans, bro. You're not that guy, pal. Trust me, you're not that guy, pal. But I digress.
no, that was definitely an interesting moment right there because I feel pause I didn't pause. I was right behind him, and then I'm trying to call his name, and then he's just not showing nobody the time of day. It was definitely just weird, but I guess it was a lot of fans, and I guess he was just in his own world, but overall, a great experience. That's something that I would love to go to every single year. Just a lot of great people in there, a lot of great energy. Um, shout out to those two security guards that didn't want to let us back upstairs from the basement. Fuck y'all two niggas. If
No,
y'all
no, you
ever
have to go around. You have to go around. You have
if
to go
y'all
around.
ever see this clip, fuck y'all two niggas because y'all know we was a part of the fake media and you should have let us upstairs, bro. You didn't even ID them other people that went around us, bro.
Weird ass niggas.
So
What else?
definitely shout out to them.
Another thing I want to point out though, yo, yeah, these athletes be fucking icy. Yo, this nigga Rey Mysterio, bro. I go to a segment. I'm like, yo, who the fuck nigga is shining, bro? All these niggas is shining. My son Drewski, yo, nah, yo, athlete celebrity chase, bro. That shit goes a long way, bro. No glaze intended though, but just son I peeped.
Nah, for real. What podcast was that we seen
You said we seen Rey Mysterio?
that what's that podcast with Ice Cube son? Like what is it? What is it actually called?
Shit, I forgot what it's called. Let me, and I'll check later. But yeah, there's no disrespect though. But filming, I definitely seen a couple episodes. They definitely do interview a lot of
No, yeah,
WWE
I
folks.
just I just hate to not just get the proper respect, but Rey Mysterio was definitely on that podcast, and it was definitely great just hearing that conversation, hearing him talking about him just starting from you know the the whole AAA experience, and then going to WWE and people taking a chance on him, and then becoming a father, and now his son Dominic Mysterio in the WWE, and that whole experience. So it was definitely good to see that.
Oh,
There's
sorry to interrupt. It's called No Contest. No Contest to Wrestling.
No Contest Wrestling. Definitely shout out to their podcast. I know we follow them on Instagram. I just could not remember the name, but shout out to them. There was just so many people in the building. I feel like if you're just a real sports fan, whether you go there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or you go there all 3 days combined, I feel like you just gotta be there just to feel that love, right? I know we joked about it in the beginning about you. We joked about the whole moment with you and the child, but just all the children there, just seeing us, just doing the interviews and them just wanting to talk and them just being having great energy. It was just a whole great experience. And I hope it's something that keeps going on forever.
Facts. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about in there? Nah, but we missed a lot though.
No,
It felt like
yeah.
we didn't, but at the same time, it's just like we did. It's like,
I feel like the building is so large. There's so many things because if you look at it, if we had went to, let's say, the autograph signing things downstairs, we would have missed the LeBron thing because that thing was at 3 o'clock.
nah, that's true. We
So
missed
we would have
that.
missed something. You couldn't go to everything. Like you was going to miss something because there's so much going on.
Nah, that's definitely true though. Shout out to Fanatics though, once again though. Shout out Mike Rubin too. Yo, Mike Rubin. Next time your security bumps me, man, it's gonna be a fucking problem. There was an octagon. We could have handled that shit in there.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to partake in those type of activities. But definitely shout out to Michael Rubin. There were just so many people that we just got to see. I can just say I was just side by side to Michael Rubin, and this man's a bit. If I'm wrong, is he not a billionaire?
Should be. It takes a
Right.
billionaire
So
or some shit like this.
so it was just great to see. But shout out to Fanatics once again, but we have not talked since the NBA Finals actually have ended. So, shout out to the Oklahoma City Thunder for becoming your 2024-2025 NBA champions. We can clap it up real quick. Show some love, sir. Definitely shout out to them. It was a hard fought series, but at the end, once again, I always feel like it comes down to this in the playoffs. The healthiest team is always going to win. I want to give a special shout out to Tyrese Halliburton for just laying it all on the line. This is, sometimes, shout out to Stephen A. Smith because that's someone that made me kind of want to get into the podcasting media type world. I was watching him for a long time, but sometimes he has takes, and I definitely do not agree. Tyrese Halliburton is a superstar. There's no way that he goes out there and puts his body on the line like that, and we cannot say this man is not a superstar because we know that he wasn't 100% healthy. I'm pretty sure he heard everything that the media was saying, comparing the whole situation to what happened to Kevin Durant a couple years ago, and he still went out there because that's what a true leader and a true superstar does. And he went 3 from 3 from the 3 point line to start off the night. I feel like if he had played in that game, Indiana would have won that game 7. But it was just a tough moment to see when his leg just gave out, and you can just see him grimacing in pain on the ground. And you can just, I feel like the trainer asked him, well, did something pop? And I feel like he said, I think so. And it was just definitely a tough moment to see. I was just watching it and I'm like, damn, like, I felt like I was a part of the team just when he went down because it's like, just being an NBA fan and just seeing the type of run that he was on, it was giving me that type of run that Dirk Nowitzki went on in 2011 when he ended up beating the Miami Heat in the finals and just overcoming the odds. But the basketball gods, they have their own plans sometimes. And now he's going to miss pretty much the whole next NBA season with a torn Achilles. I feel like that's like the trending injury right now, right, with Damian Lillard and Jason Tatum. And DeJounte Murray, just all these players just with these Achilles injuries. So it's definitely going to be an interesting season next season. You know, everyone's saying that the East is wide open. But shout out to the Pacers. They went on a crazy run. I feel like they was the underdog in every series that they was in, and they just defied the odds. I don't want to take anything away from the Oklahoma City Thunder. I was someone that was saying that they just weren't ready, and there was a young team, and they needed this and they needed that. They got the job done. But when I think about just this finals, I'm just always gonna think about the Pacers' best player and their star just wasn't able to play that whole game and really give the Pacers their best shot. We seen Obi Toppin literally say it drained the team like once that happened. Right? There was a whole bunch of players that was having 3 points, 6 points, 9 points, players that we know can have a much bigger factor. But I just feel once Tyrese went down, the team was just deflated. And shout out to Rick Carlisle. He did a great job just throughout this whole playoff, just making the right adjustments, just really believing in his bench. We seen Tony Bradley and the New York Knicks at a point. T.J. McConnell and Benedict Mathurin and Aaron Neesmith just made a name for himself. I'm pretty sure when his contract is up, he's definitely gonna get paid. Um, just shout out to the Pacers. They went on a great one. Shout out to the Thunder for getting the job done. And the Finals MVP, Shea, he is the man right now. And until then, he's just the person that you got to beat.
Right, definitely agreed on all your points that you said. Yeah, just starting off, just to get well soon to Tyrese Halliburton. Definitely somebody that just proved the naysayers wrong coming into the postseason. When we look at it, a bunch of players in the media voted him as the most overrated player, and just the fact that he took that as a chip on his shoulder and fueled himself to even get to even the NBA Finals and just even force a Game 7 against the best team in the league. It says a lot about the work that he's put in and just the heart and drive that he has for the game of basketball. When we look at it, a lot of people could just easily just take that and then just let it get to them, let the critics and the negativity get to them. He used that as fuel and he put trust in his team that we're gonna make noise. That feel me, we've been overlooked. That yeah, we started off slow in the first half of the season and nobody looked at us like we was gonna get back to being in the conference finals. But the whole 360 that they did just to even get themselves in a position to where now that there was one of the teams to beat, one of the teams to be reckoned with, and to get to the finals since God knows what 2000 2001 around that time, and just for them to even be in a position to do this again and just maybe even get a championship, it's just a testament to just how well this team is. This was a team that trusted each other, a team that ran maybe like 13 or 14 deep. This is a team well coached by Rick Carlisle, that there was no egos on this team. This is a team that I could just literally say played for one another. When I'm watching the Indiana Pacers this postseason, you could tell that it's a team that enjoyed playing with each other. This is a team that overall that their chemistry is what really railed them into getting to the finals. I look at it just game 7, just watching it. We was probably going to be in for one of them historic game 7s, just the way that Tyrese Halliburton started off, to your point, just hitting three pointers. And it just, you feel the momentum. You feel somebody that's ready, that came prepared for game 7, whether if they win or lose, that he was going to get an all-time performance from them. And that's exactly what happened until the Achilles injury happened. And you hate to see that, especially at the biggest moment in your basketball career, a game 7 for the NBA Finals, one game away from winning a championship, win or lose. You get the NBA championship, and you just hate to see that, especially in the first quarter when you're cooking up like that. So once again, Tyrese Halliburton, get well soon. Mad respect for what you did in this postseason, just shutting up the naysayers. I doubt anybody's gonna really have anything to say bad about Tyrese Halliburton going forward, because when I look at it, that's somebody that when had the chip on his shoulder, he showed out, he performed. There was a lot of criticism. Me too, I was a criticism, but just in that Knicks series though. But overall though, I'm just proud to see that somebody that just stepped up to the task on this, proving people wrong. And you like to see that. That's definitely something that when you look back at it, it's just like that's what makes somebody great. And I think that just shows just the level of commitment to just being great that Tyrese Halliburton had in this postseason run. Cause shit, if I got voted the most overrated player in the league, I'd be mad as fuck too. And he fueled that. So shout out to him too. And onto the Oklahoma City side of things, just watching that game seven too, like you could tell, like I felt like regardless with or without Tyrese, they was going to handle their business. This is a team that once I said they're a team that their best offense is defense. We're a team that when they turn defense into offense, they're out and running too. And I've seen a lot of times to where they got going defensively. You got guys like Caruso or Case and Wallace just playing them defensive lanes, and they're getting these fast break buckets. They're controlling the momentum of the game. Granted, in that third quarter, there was a bunch of times to where TJ McConnell goes on an own personal run, a 12-0 run by TJ McConnell. Shout out to him too as well. And I'm looking at it. I said, yo, this is a team that if Tyrese was in the game, maybe would be a little bit different. But Shea Gilgeous knew what was at hand. He knew he had to close out, had to be the best version of himself. J Dub followed along too. They understand that with the situation here, they couldn't lose that game. They couldn't lose game seven without Tyrese Halliburton. No matter what was thrown at them, they had to complete that game. Losing that game would have just destroyed the reputation of Shea Gilgeous, would destroy the reputation of Oklahoma City. And just overall, it would have just looked so bad if they lost without Tyrese. So I'm looking at that. I think they understood that task at hand. J Dub performed well. Who else performed well? Chet Holmgren actually showed up offensively, and they just had to handle business. They just had to close out. I think they understand that. I think Indiana, they tried everything that they did in their best power. If it wasn't TJ McConnell in that third quarter, then it was Benedict Mathurin trying to cut the lead down to like maybe single digits, just getting to the line relentlessly, trying to just will this team back and try to make a miracle run. But at the end of the day, there's only so much you could do without your star player. So once again, though, shout out to the Indiana Pacers for just going on this run, just entertaining the masses. Team, a bunch of fans probably would have thought that the Indiana Pacers wasn't going to make the finals. If you would have told us in the beginning of the year that the Indiana Pacers was going to the final, despite the Celtics, despite the Milwaukee Bucks, despite the fucking 76ers, despite all this other team, we'd have been like, yo, what the hell? Like, you sound crazy. But they defied all odds. They got to a game seven more than a lot of betting favorite odds had them ending maybe 4 or 5 games, but they pushed to game seven. And shout out to the Oklahoma City Thunder, though. Shout out to Sam Presti as well, a team that believed in their rebuild, believed that if we give up Paul George and we got all this draft capital and Shea Gilgeous, that we could turn our future around. And they stuck to their plan. They stuck to a plan of just drafting correctly, bringing in guys like J Dub, who was not highly recruited, bringing in a guy like Chet Holmgren, who they see in the foreseeable future, and just all these other guys around them. Just the signing of Isaiah Hartenstein, trading Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso. Sam Presti played his cards right, and then he delivered a chip to Oklahoma City. Will this lead to some more? We got to see. But for right now, the future in Oklahoma City looks definitely bright, though. A lot of draft capital still. Yeah, not much more to say about that. And that's my recap of the 2025 NBA Finals.
Nah,
Yo,
yeah, but I wanted to ask just right now, just based off everything you seen from this Oklahoma City Thunder.
I really want to know what he was gonna say. Damn, I really want to know what he's gonna say. Well, yeah, we're gonna give some time though. But yeah, I could continue on with just everything Oklahoma City does. Just in general, just watching this team and just everything that they did everything correctly. He drafted correctly. They had definitive roles. Everybody knew that Shea Gildas Alexander was the guy to go to. Oh, Justin's back. Yeah, as you were saying.
No, I just wanted to ask you, like, as of right now, do you think that the Thunder will go back to back? Like, will they win another championship next season, just based off how the league is constructed right now?
To me, I'd say no. Just off the strength of what we've seen over these past couple years, I think since 2019, we haven't had no back-to-back champions. It's a rare thing to do in this league because I feel like this league is full of a bunch of talent. All it takes is one good off season, one good playoff run, and then we could be talking about somebody as newly champions. I'm looking at it as since the Warriors two-peated, we had Toronto Raptors, the LA Lakers. Who else? Then we had the Milwaukee Bucks, Golden State Warriors, Boston Celtics. No. Was it Denver Nuggets? Yeah, Denver Nuggets, Boston Celtics, and now the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like in that type of span, it's just like a lot of teams are very talented though. So all it takes is the right move in the postseason to get this team back on track, to get a team back on track, or a team in the picture. So all it takes is just investing your chips into one season. And I look at it as if, yes, the Oklahoma City Thunder are very talented. They are a great team, though. But feel me, anything can happen in that time span, though. Luckily, Chet came back from that hip injury after missing 50 games. Who knows if Chet wasn't there, would they have won that? Feel me? So it's a whole bunch of what ifs. An NBA season is very long, 82 games, and then you got to win 16 games to get to that point. So I'm looking at it as, oh, who knows? Maybe next year we might be talking about a team that we might not even have looked at to be an NBA champion. So I say no for right now, though. But definitely the future is bright. I think that they have another one in them, though. I definitely could say that.
Nah, the Los Angeles Lakers. You know it, and I know it, bro. Luka Doncic has been in the gym and has dropped the baby fat, bro. We also have the greatest player of all time in LeBron James. You know that, and I know that. We also know that they're about to make some roster moves, bro. They're going to reconstruct the roster. They just sold the team to a guy that wants to spend money. We're about to sign the players. We're about to get a big man. And we're gonna win the championship, bro. Like, how come you didn't even mention that when you just gave your little soliloquy based off the question?
Because once again, the team to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, and you got to think about it. It's the West we're talking about, man. The West, we are talking the wild, wild West, man. And you look at it, every team is willing to compete in the Western Conference, man. So to sit here and me say that the Lakers are definitively going to win, that's just a discredit to every team, man. That could be your prediction, and that's more than likely so what Justin's prediction is. That of course he's gonna say that because he's a Lakers fan. But overall, bro, the league is open for a championship now. If you bargain your chips correctly, you definitely could come out with the you definitely could come out. And yeah, like I was saying just now when you left, and the league is up for grabs, bro. The championship window is up for grabs. I don't see no reason why no other team, because you could say this. Well, filming, a lot of teams are gonna get better too. A lot of teams, man, is not definitive. And your boy Austin Reeves, y'all gotta sign him to that money. Yeah, gonna trade him.
Listen, listen. He didn't. We didn't need him to accept that that was a low ball offer. We're gonna sign him next season to a max deal, bro. This is all things going on behind the scenes, bro. Do you really think we're gonna lose Austin Reeves, bro?
Uh, I'm not saying I'm gonna lose Austin Reeves though, but would him taking that money, like I'm just asking from like your point of perspective. If you think y'all signed him to a max, would you think that is would hurt in getting very like solid players? Like I know you guys say y'all want like at least a good big man to pair alongside with Brown and Luca. You think him signing that money, does that cap y'all salary to where y'all gonna have to buy like just vet minimum players, or y'all could go out and find yourselves a big like that's really like.
Listen, man. Well, you also got to look at it like this. If we're being realistic, LeBron's not gonna play forever, and that is someone that does take up a large amount of the salary. We're talking about another two, max three. That would actually kind of be insane, but I feel 2 max 3 years of LeBron James, and then that money's gonna be off the books, man. And then you're gonna be able to really get that next big superstar to pair with Luca. So as of right now, your two stars is LeBron and Luca, and now we're just gonna have to make some trades. Like that's what it's gonna have to be. We don't have that much cap, that much money to get really anyone this huge this off season. But I feel like with this second apron, we're seeing a lot of teams make a lot of moves right now. We just seen the Boston Celtics literally just blow up their whole entire team. So teams are looking to make moves right now. The Lakers know they need a big, and we know LeBron James speaking with the GMs, just in the back moves are gonna be made, bro.
I do feel that. I want to see how the team like plays out though. Like you said, you guys got a new owner, somebody that's willing to spend money, somebody that's willing to invest all into this, bring in just the Lakers dynasty back into relevancy once again. Because once again, once you play for the Lakers, it's all about winning championships. They don't want to hear about, oh, you got to the Western Conference, you got to the finals. It's about hanging up another banner, and just exceeding Boston's banner. So, and I think that's just exactly what Jeannie Buss was thinking about when she sold to a guy that's willing to just remodel this Lakers franchise and to just bringing it back to just complete dynasty and championship gold. So that's why I want to question I asked though. I know you guys are not going to be willing to be afraid to spend though. I just want to know what is like going to be like the cap, and are you guys willing to go above the cap in order to get guys like feel me? Like you said, a bunch of names that I've seen out in the market. Maybe a Nick Claxton should be available. Yeah, I'm hearing talks about Brooke Lopez, or maybe even a fucking Clint Capella, who I've been hearing since they got
No, I hold on. So now, if the Lakers, if y'all are watching, we don't need Brooke Lopez. Brooke Lopez can't move laterally. Like, shout out to Brooke Lopez. He's had a good career. I like Brooke Lopez. I love the Lopez family. But no, we don't need Brooke Lopez. We need to be looking at Nick Claxton, Walker Kessler, people like that, a young mobile big that can, really just help us just more defensively. Brooke Lopez is someone that likes to play a lot on the perimeter, and we don't need that when we already have LeBron and Luca playing on the perimeter, bro. But it just doesn't really make sense. So those are really the two bigs that I'm looking at right now. You say Clint Capella. I just don't like. I feel Clint Capella hasn't played meaningful basketball in a while. So how is he gonna be ready to go? Right, like that reminds me of someone like Kyle Kuzma, right, who wasn't playing meaningful basketball for the last couple of years. So now he comes to Milwaukee and he literally had a game in the playoffs. He was just getting cardio. You understand what I'm saying? So
right.
I just don't want to make the wrong move.
All right. Yeah, so since we're on the topic of just trades and everything too, a couple trades went down though. I think what it was just Boston's trades that's only been going down, right?
Right. So first, we can talk about the biggest trade that has happened. Kevin Durant is now a Houston Rocket. Um, he was traded, from the Phoenix Suns to Houston, and Phoenix got back Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and some picks were involved. Kevin Durant is on a new team. I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm not really moved by the trade. I think Kevin Durant is a great player, and I think Houston is going to make the playoffs and definitely make things interesting. But I do think they probably need to make another move. They have a lot of young pieces, right? I'm hearing names like like I hear when people talk about the team and they're naming the roster, and then they talk about Jabari Smith. Are we gonna now rely on Jabari Smith to be playing large minutes in the playoffs? Fred Van Fleet, just signed a 2-year deal. He's about to come back. He's gonna have to be huge in the playoffs. He's already a small guard, 1 year older, and a liability defensively. Sengun is great, but he's still young. Kevin Durant is 37 years old. When was the last time Kevin Durant played over 65 games?
I can't even tell you.
So, so if I was Houston, I wouldn't have made this move. I would have kept my young core and then just keep building. Like y'all was just right there. Like I just feel like Kevin Durant is a great piece, but is he gonna get you over the hump right now? I don't think so, right? That's like me also talking about LeBron. I don't think LeBron right now can be the number one option and lead you there. He's not that. These vets can't really do that. I feel like right now you need these young dudes who's gonna be able to really help. That's why I like LeBron and Luca, but Kevin Durant and who? Like, right? Is Kevin Durant the best player on this team?
Yeah, it goes Kevin Durant, Alfred
No, no,
Şengün,
no, no.
and Fred Van Vliet, maybe no, or Amen Thompson though. I do agree to your
No.
point though. I
I
don't
don't
think
think Kevin Durant is your number one option is going to lead you to the championship. No. Will they make the playoffs? For shit sure. For shit sure they will. The championship, no, because I just don't think him is number one option. I haven't seen it since when? Since he's been with Golden State, he had Stephen Curry, the best shooter ever, bro. So I'm not saying did the team maybe get a little better? Maybe. But I just gotta see it. I know you're a big Kevin Durant fan, so maybe you feel differently. I'm interested to hear what you have to say. Floor's yours.
Well, to your point though, I do agree to just the point of just you are relying on a guy that's 37 years old to try to get you over that hump. Though I definitely feel like this is just a move that you see to where would it take you? Because there's still high hopes on Kevin Durant though. As your number one option, I would say that you put yourself maybe in a better position depending on who you go against. You still keep guys like Amen Thompson and Shangoon. You get rid of guys like Dylan Brooks, who was sort of like the heart and soul, who got this Houston train going when he signed over there. And then he brought back just some type of toughness and just grit. So, you'd hate to see that go. Then you have a guy like Jalen Green, who, feel me, didn't have the best playoff performance. We'll say that. His first go around, he was very shaky, except for like game two. But I feel like just
Neither, hold on, neither did Kobe Bryant.
that's what and no, that's what I'm saying. I'm 100% agree with you on to that point. I'm just saying that, feel me, I think that they pulled the plug too soon. Yes, was it warranted for a guy like Kevin Durant? And the fact that they gave up two players in a draft pick, uh, you do what you can in this league though. But now the question is, what are you gonna add on to this roster though? I know you re-signed a guy like Steven Adams, you brought him back. You still have guys like Fred Van Vliet though, but who are the guards now? Who are the two guard? Who is going to be that two guard? Who's going to be that extra bucket getter? We know Fred Van Vliet could do it because he had in background. He played solid for this goal against the Golden State Warriors in the first round, but we're in a league now where you need a bunch of guard play though. And Kevin Durant can only do so much when you got a guy like Amen Thompson, who's not relatively a shooter, who is very crafty at getting into the basket. You have that. Jabari Smith, he can knock down a bunch of shots. Like he can knock down shots, timely shots. He can do that though, but you need guard play. And I think this is where the Houston Rockets might have just hurt themselves a little bit. Jalen Green, he might not have been the best for them in this postseason, but you have that two guard that could create their own shot, that could get their own basket. Feel me? You had that in Kevin Durant, but you need somebody alongside that. So when we had the Jalen Green and we had the sorry, when we had Jalen Green and we had Fred VanVleet, that's two guys that could create their own basket, that could get shots going. Now, if it's not KD, then it's Fred VanVleet. Then what are you gonna do? Give it to Shangoon in the post? Like you have to add on to this roster before we even talk about making serious. Because right now, last year there was a second seed, one of their best seasons in quite some time. The second seed, you have to at least duplicate that or do even better. Or as other than that, then you just cut your future short by giving up a guy like Jalen Green. Because he might not have been the best for them, but he's somebody that was homegrown in Houston, got drafted there, was getting acclimated, getting comfortable in your skin. You don't know this, you don't know his limit yet because he's still relatively young. You don't know his limit yet. You don't know his potential yet or what he could become. But would you say wherever Jalen Green goes, because I heard he might not stay in Phoenix, and he ascends even more with that chip on his shoulder, we'll look back in years. It's like, yo, we had KD for a rental for what, maybe 1 year, 2 year? Because feel me, time is ticking. KD knows that. The whole NBA knows that. And feel me, there's only so much production he's able to give you. Yes, he's still average. He's still a 28 point per game scorer though. Yes, we get all that though, but that comes natural. Like Braun is still one of them dudes at the end of the day though, because they understand the concept of basketball though. But you got to understand though, you're not getting no younger. The wear and tear on your body, you still got to go through an 82 game season. Kevin Durant's not getting no younger though. So if you do not capitalize on this within the next 2 years, you have at least a 2 year window with this. Then this would be all for nothing though. And I really think that Houston has put themselves in a position now. If you want to claim that you're win now, you have no choice but to put the right pieces now. Now you got to go out and find the correct pieces. Now this free agency has a lot to do with just adding the right pieces, making the right trades for certain guys for this team to work. And we just gonna have to see this play. But this current roster right now, it ain't gonna get it done. It ain't gonna get it done. I mean, I think yeah, like you said to your point, they do make the playoffs. But are they gonna be in the same position they was? They finished second seed last year, 50 plus wins. Are they gonna duplicate that again? That's that. Feel me? I have yet to see. We're gonna wait to see. But right now, in my opinion, it's not going to be the same though, because teams are only going to get better. Teams are only going to come back and get better. So you have to make it your job to just find a way to just add on to this roster now.
Nah, yeah. Shout out to Houston. I still do like the point that they do still have, a lot of young talent. also just coming off the bench, we didn't mention, the Reed Shepherds of the world and the Cam Whitmores that are now going to probably get some more minutes, right? Depending on what they do with this roster. But now we're going to see how good is Reed Shepard. He was a lottery pick, and I'm a fan of Reed Shepard. And Cam Whitmore, a guy that, is a highlight reel type player, great athleticism. But now in these larger minutes, in these bigger moments, are they going to be able to produce, right? Because now it's great in the regular season. I think Houston's going to be a good regular season team. But now in the playoffs, bro, we seen it just happened to them in this playoffs when they went against a veteran team and they just wasn't able to get it done. Now, once again, you have Kevin Durant who's been there and is a champion. But when has he been the clear cut number one and won the championship? That was once again, no, your audio, sir. I can't hear you.
Yeah, yeah, all right, yeah. Like I was saying, Golden State time, and that's when he was relatively young.
Yeah.
That was before the Achilles injury.
But then look, that's what I'm even saying. But he wasn't the clear cut number one. That was Curry's team. Like he won Finals MVP. I'm not saying he didn't, but that was Curry's team.
100% though. Like I'm saying though. So that's what I'm saying. You're gonna have to add the right pieces around him if you want to get back to that point in Kevin Durant's career. Like when like looking at just the Houston organization, they look at it as like, oh yeah, Kevin Durant, yeah, we're gonna go out. But you got to put the right pieces around it. And I think that's why certain teams backed out of the trade. That's why a team like the New York Knicks, they said, we feel me, Kevin Durant would be nice to have, but we like our pieces. And if we give out one of our pieces, they won't put ourselves in a position to like
To that
now we
point,
got to make up for them pieces too. And
to
I
your
wouldn't say
point,
that.
like I know I don't mean to cut you off. I just want to say another team just like the Spurs. I didn't want them to trade their number two overall pick just to acquire a Kevin Durant. I think they made the right choice drafting a Dylan Harper. Right, you have a great young nucleus. Why blow that up? They would have made the playoffs if Wemby didn't get hurt. So like, why push the panic button and just do this Kevin Durant trade when we've seen this movie a couple times now, and I think I know the ending.
I definitely agree to that point though. I'm looking at it as the West is open. Like you see, even though the whole NBA is open too, like I just don't think that we have this one super like mega team that defies all. Like feel me, the Miami Heats of the days, the San Antonio Spurs of the days, the Golden State Warriors. Like I think right now we have a parity of just teams that we do. Once again, you make the right moves and then you're just right there. And I think that's what a lot of teams are trying to capitalize on in this off season too as well. So I'm looking at another team that just made a move, and quite frankly, I'm not too mad at this move. I just seen that the Portland Trailblazers and the Boston Celtics traded Drew Holiday for Anthony Simons. Drew Holiday, somebody that came into the Celtics organization and gave them everything that was needed in order for them to win a championship. We talk about a guy that's played world renowned defense, a guy that comes through, just plays his role, hits timely shots, gets timely stops, and you've seen it on display when they won that championship. They trade him for a guy like Anthony Simons, and I think Boston now switches their dynamic of their philosophy of just having like a defensive warrior type of team, because now you bring in a guy that I wouldn't say has shown some promise, but I feel like just within the organization of sorry, within the organization of Portland just hasn't really had that time to really just show what he's fully capable of in winning basketball situations though. So you take a risk on a guy like Anthony Simon, somebody that can hit a lot of shots, somebody that can go out and get a bucket himself. You pair him up with a guy like Jalen Brown right now, and you see where that takes you. And hopefully waiting for Tatum to come. You still keep a guy like Payne Pritchard. It's gonna be interesting to see this Boston Celtics team. I wanted to ask you though, do you think that they fall off completely to where now we're not playoff contention, or do you think that they still make some noise?
Oh no, they're still gonna make the playoffs. If they were to go into the season right now with that starting five, right? You got Derek White, Jalen Brown, you got Simons, you got Horford, and am I missing somebody in that lineup?
You said Jalen Brown, Derek White, Anthony Simons, Al Horford. Do you start George Niang? I know they
Right,
just got
right.
there.
Even if you do. even if you do a George Niang, if you have Derek White and Jalen Brown and the Anthony Simons in this Eastern Conference, I know the slogan of it's the East, but now it's like nigga, there's no one at the top. Like, and that's really just due to injury. So I don't how the Boston Celtics are going to make the playoffs, right?
Mm.
This is a team that, they're just doing a lot of these moves to save money and just get under that second apron. So that's why you see they just gave away Drew Holiday. They also just gave away Porzingis to get a Niang, like you just brought up. They've also acquired a lot of second round picks. So, that's a team that, they're still, in I feel win now mode, but they know that Tatum most likely is going to miss this season and they just gotta make the right moves, right? So when Tatum does come back and you go into next year's free agency, you can still build around you can still build around your two stars. Um I heard rumors that, even assignments can definitely be repackaged, maybe for another deal. We're going to have to see. But I still think Boston, to your point, even a Peyton Pritchard, I believe, is Sam Hauser still on the roster?
Yeah.
All right, so I think they definitely still have some great pieces. You still have the Luke Cornets of the world. So, yeah, I think Boston's gonna be all right. I feel like in terms for Drew Holiday, I don't see him staying in Portland. I don't know if that quote was true that he said, he was pissed that he was even here, right? In that trade, and that in fact that that trade happened. I feel like just the trade to that destination is what maybe, allegedly might have him ticked off. Um, so I think he'll be repackaged somewhere else. And then you look at Porzingis, right? Him going to Atlanta. I think Atlanta could be a sneaky team. If you have Trey
Sure.
Young, right, you still have the Jalen Johnsons of the world, and now you bringing up Porzingis. If he's gonna be healthy, I'd like Atlanta. They could make a sneaky run.
That's true. And like I said, all it takes is one move. But it depends how healthy Porzingis is to me, though. We definitely seen in this past year that he's been dealing with that illness, whatever that illness is. If he gets that fixed, if we could get Porzingis to his first year in Boston to where he does play games, where he does show why he's a 20-point per game scorer, we could, yeah, 100%. I definitely agree. I'm never going to count out a team that makes a moves for a certain amount of reasons. Um, all it just takes is the right pieces around for a team to get back into that relevancy and get back. Atlanta was just a team that, what was it, 4 years ago? It was just in the conference finals with the right pieces around them. They had the right core, the right nuclear, drafted correctly, and just managed to make some noise. That's all it takes, bro. Like, feel me? That's how I feel like it's all it takes in this era, bro. Just make the right moves. And Atlanta, they still got guys like Risha Shea. Who else? I'm missing a couple guys. I already forgot the Atlanta roster, bro. I already forgot. Damn, I was gonna
Right,
say Deion.
they definitely got the Zachary Reaches of the world. They
Jalen
have
Johnson. Oh, sorry.
the
Yeah.
the Jalen Johnsons, the Dyson Daniels. He just won. What was it? Most improved player. So I think they're definitely moving in the right direction. They definitely took the New Orleans pick. I think from next year, right? What wasn't that trade happen?
Yeah. You can hear me?
Right. So I think Atlanta, is definitely. No, I can hear you. You can hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was saying, just shout out to the Atlanta Hawks. I definitely think they've had an interesting off season thus far. But another trade that happened was between the New Orleans Pelicans and the Washington Wizards, and we seen Jordan Poole going to the Pelicans and Steve McCollum going Washington. So, what did you think about just that move right there?
Um, I think for me, and people's told me I sound crazy this week. I'm slowly liking the moves that Washington is making, though. Whether you decide to keep all these vets or you decide to put them in a trade package for draft capital or maybe a young player, Washington right now to me is just I feel like investing into just the mixture of having vets and young players together, sort of like what Detroit did, in order to get them back into like some type of playing contention or a type of maybe playoff. So right now I'm low key, and I spoke highly of Washington. I know they did lose a lot of games last year in these past couple years, but I think it was just a mixture of not having the right type of players around. I think right now I watch Washington they don't know how to win games yet, and that's the woes you go through of being a young team. And I've been on record saying that. Feel me? They play hard though. I'm watching the Bub Carringtons of the world, the Biley Koulibalys, the Alexander Sars, the Keyshawn Georges of the world. They play hard though. They just don't know how to win games, and I feel like just adding just the vets that they have, the CJ McCollums of the world, the Chris Middleton, the Marcus Smarts, you mix that in, and then you add a couple of pieces here and there. You just gotta just learn. And I think, feel me, it's still a learning curve for the team that's young, though. But I'm excited to see the future for Washington, though. I know people might say, oh, bro, they're trash, they're trash. I get that. You're going to be trash relatively young. But when I see a front office trying to make certain moves in order to get this team prepared for maybe in the next 4 or 5 years, I'm excited just for the growth period, just the growth period for that. So, Washington, I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for them just to see how how much better did they get, or did they digress though. That's definitely going to be one of the teams on my radars for that. Feel me? Hopefully they get a little bit better now. Right now I'll still take them over a team like the fucking Hornets though and shit like that though. Regardless if they don't have like a superstar like in the Mel Ball or that, I just think I like the direction that they're going. I kind of see the vision that they're trying to pinpoint for this team. Relatively young though, but feel me, everything takes time in this league, dude. Especially when you drafting players that are dead ass like what 18, 19, 20, like feel me, used to be. It's still a learning curve though. So I did like that for them. You got off a guy, Jordan Poole, who they knew was not in their future. Sorry. I definitely feel like the Jordan Poole experiment didn't work, bringing in a guy that's an NBA champion, but just didn't necessarily wasn't the leader that they was expecting him to be and all types of stuff. So, it was just a learning experience for them. Now for the Pelican side, I think I like the Pelicans too. I think that's another young team and prospect that did well. They brought in another bucket getter in Jordan Poole, replacing CJ McCollum to fit their team's time and their team time span. They're relatively a young team. When I look at the guys, I'm looking at guys like Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Zion Williamson, the Yeeves kid, uh, who else? Just overall, Jose Alvarado. I'm looking at all these players. You feel me? They all spit a specific time span of their age group. So definitely a definitely good pickup for them. And then when you add on to just how they drafted correctly too, I definitely like who they brought in. They brought in the Fierce kid, who I feel like could be a relentless bucket getter if given the opportunity to. I'm looking at a guy like Derek Queen as the backup center for them right now. They definitely could make some noise. I think it's a win-win trade, especially when you look at what New Orleans has added on. Shout out to Joe Dumars and just the work that he did in his first goal draft. Definitely picked up some sneaky names too. So I think both teams overall is a win-win. I think right now I'm looking at it as it's a little move for a bigger picture though. And I'm gonna keep expressing that. It might sound repetitive, but I just feel like you got to make the little moves at first. You can't go out and get a big name because all the big names are going to be signed to a 5-year contract. You can't go out and get the what ifs. The because feel me, other teams are investing in the what ifs, and it's gonna be a bidding war for the what if. So like when I say what if players, like a guy like Jonathan Kaminga, a guy that has potential, right? That if they feel like giving in the right opportunity, the right position, he can make a name for himself. He can do good things. Those are the what ifs. So you got to bank on guys that are like small moves to make a bigger picture. And I feel like that's what the Pelicans are doing. Whether they decide to keep Zion, because I know he got some nutty shit going on, man. Can't keep can't keep out the media for all the wrong reasons, whether it's health, whether it's just his outside scandals and shit like that. Can't keep his name out. So feel me, they might be looking to move him though. But other than that though, it's a slow process for teams that are in that not rebuilding mode, but just trying to find their way and trying to make a name for themselves, though. So I like the move, though.
Nah, yeah. Shout out to both sides. I definitely agree with you. I think the Washington Wizards are going in the direction of just trying to mix those vets with the young players and teach them how to win and mold the young dudes. And so now once get that job done, you can move off those contracts, and now you got all those young dudes. So shout out to Washington. They got off Jordan Poole, who didn't want to be in Washington anyway. He's now in New Orleans, but we all know that this New Orleans thing all depends on Zion. If Zion's not healthy, or if he's eating too much Taco Bell or too many prostitutes, like that's just gonna set the team
You
back.
said
So he's
prostitutes.
just gonna have he no. I'm listen. I'm not trying to judge anybody. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on myself. But yeah, the trade wasn't, the most groundbreaking. I don't think Washington's gonna make the playoffs. And once again, New Orleans just has to figure out what they're gonna do with this whole Zion situation. Um, yeah, but just shout out to those two teams. Was there another trade?
Am I missing another trade? No, I think that might have been it.
Yeah, I don't think there was no other major trade, but the NBA draft did just, finish up last night. We seen the first round on Wednesday, and then we had the second round on Thursday. Pick ended up being Cooper Flag being drafted by the Dallas Mavericks, followed by Dylan Harper being drafted to the San Antonio Spurs, and then Mr. VJ Edgecombe being the number third pick. And then we seen a dude like Ace Bailey, right, who was projected, to be a top two, top three pick, fall to number five to the Utah Jazz. So, does what did you think about this NBA draft, and this who do you think is gonna be just the standout?
Uh, when I'm looking at this NBA draft, I definitely like just everything I've seen from just all these players in college. A lot of players have definitely made a name for themselves. I'm looking at a guy like Cooper Flag, just a unanimous and first pick, and I'm looking at him to stand out too. Especially surrounded by a bunch of vet players. Definitely gonna learn the ropes a little bit better than a lot of these other guys. Definitely gonna make a way for himself. I'm looking at all these other players, and I like exactly where they fit in. When I'm looking at a guy like VJ Edcombs, he's going to fit right in with Philly, though. That's a team that's very young and gritty. He's going to learn a lot from guys like the Paul Georges, the Tyrese Maxeys of the world, the Joel Embiid's, whether he's playing or not. Definitely get that type of advice. Who else? I'm looking at what's the kid's name? The Knuckle kid from Duke. I definitely like his scenery in Charlotte. I definitely feel like he brings a different look. I rather him than Ace Bailey over there though, because I feel like Ace Bailey he might need to get his ego checked at the door though, because I seen a lot of reports saying that he didn't want to work out
We
for
ain't
other
gonna
teams.
do no Ace Bailey slander. Nah,
It's
I don't
not a
want to hear
slander.
any of that. So,
It's not a slander. It's an
nah,
ego
nah,
check at the
nah,
door,
nah.
bro.
He wanted
Bro,
he wanted to go to the team he wanted to go to. What's wrong with
yeah,
that? Don't wouldn't you want to work a job that you want to work? Like, what are you
but it
talking
doesn't
about?
work like that. The job is being in the
What do you
NBA.
mean
That's a
it
once
doesn't
a
work like
it
that?
does, bro. There's no rookie that has ever worked for. That's not no. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You
Well,
get
I
drafted
don't
by
want
a
to
team.
go there,
This
so
is
don't
not
draft me. Like,
okay. This is not free agency, bro. This is not free agency. You're blessed to be in a position to where you're draft, bro. I'm not. No, like feel me. Like you know how much
that's
people.
his free agency.
That's not free
I
agency,
that
bro.
that. Do you want us to go back to college? We was already making money. Like, what are you
Okay,
talking about right
he
now?
could go.
We
He could
wa-
go back to
we
college. He knows he
we
doesn't
wanted
want
to
to go
go to
back.
Washington. We wanted to go to Washington, or we wanted to go to Brooklyn, bro. All right, we didn't want to go to Utah. We didn't want to go to Charlotte. We didn't want to go to Philly, and we didn't want to go to San Antonio, bro. We should have went number one to Dallas, bro. But y'all want to talk about this Cooper Flag here, bro? Ace Bailey is the best player in the NBA draft, and he will win Rookie of the Year. How about that?
I doubt it. I doubt it because you know why?
What are you
Cooper
doubting?
Flag
He's the
is the
best
best play.
prospect in the draft.
No, nope, nope. It goes by the name
Yes, yes,
Cooper
he
Flag.
is. Yes,
It
he
goes
is.
by
You and
Cooper
you,
Flag.
Cooper Flag.
Yes,
Cooper Flag is all good because he gets a couple rebounds and assists. Bro, Ace
he
Bailey is
does
putting the ball
everything.
in the motherfucking
He does
basket, bro. He's
everything. He
putting
does
the ball
everything.
in the basket. We're looking at the second
Well,
best
guess
player
what?
in the
Will Hardy
NBA
has other
draft
plans for
than
him.
you, bro. Like,
Ace
what do you
Bailey
mean by
can,
that?
and he got other plans for him, bro. He got his ego gonna get checked at the door. I'm telling you, bro. You could
What
say
ego? What ego did he
you
have?
could do
I
all
don't
this,
want to
bro.
play for these teams. What
I,
ego are you
bro, you do
talking about,
not go
bro?
out and say that, bro. You do not. You don't do. You don't have no, bro. You're not the consensus. You're not the consensus number one pick. You don't have no say or no pull or what
He
on
should
what
have
you
been
do.
though. It's
No,
politics, and you
that
know
that no
that.
no no.
You already know it's
That's the
politics,
NI. No, nope.
no, no, no. Stop, stop. That was the media pushing Cooper Flag.
That's
You
not
need
the
to
media.
stop.
Nigga, what are we talking about? He's the
It
best player
was,
in the
it was
draft.
like Ace Bailey is better than him, bro.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Where's Ace Bailey at?
Yeah.
Where's Ace Bailey at during March Madness? Where's Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper at during March
Like,
Madness?
bro, it's not all right, but I'm not talking about no
And
March
I'm
Madness,
saying
bro.
if he's that nice,
I'm talking
why were they
about pound
15?
for
They were like
pound,
15 and 15.
skill set for skill set, roll the ball out. I got Ace Bailey, bro. I'm not
I got
talking about
Cooper
no March
Flag. And
Madness
guess
run,
what?
bro.
Cooper Flag gonna get him a bucket and then he's gonna stop and he's gonna clamp that shit up. Ace Bailey's not guarding Cooper
Oh,
Flag.
come on,
Ace
bro.
Bailey's not guarding
Cooper
Cooper
Flag is
Flag.
about to be
I've been
carried
watching
by the
Cooper
Dallas
Flag.
Mavericks and all those superstars over there, bro. We're gonna see Ace Bailey get out the mud. We're not gonna have no Anthony Davis and Klay Thompson to rely on, bro. We about to be the man, bro. What are you talking about,
He's
bro?
not even gonna be the
You crazy,
man. He's not even gonna be the man. He'd be lucky if he averages 12.
bro? You
He
hating,
gonna get
bro?
a reality check, trust me. And
What?
I'm sorry, and I fuck
Are
with
you
Ace Bailey, trust me.
crazy?
He
Are
gonna
you
get a reality
crazy?
check.
We
He
just
gonna get
might
a
average 20. We just
get the
might
fuck
average
out. He
20
ain't
at the
averaging no
door.
20. He ain't averaging
Yeah,
no 20.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Dylan Harper might have a better
We
season
just
than him.
might average 20. We
Dylan Harper, Dylan Harper
All
might
right,
have a
bro.
better season than him.
I don't wanna kick you off the I don't wanna kick you off the show, bro. I
What?
don't wanna hear about no Dylan Harper, bro.
The
All
number
right.
2 pick?
His dad
The
was trash.
number
He's
the,
trash and his daddy was trash. He's trash and his trash ass daddy. Ace Bailey is better than both of them fools.
all right, he's gonna have to show it, bro. Listen, summer league around the corner. Summer league around the corner. And guess what? That man Cooper Flag, you gonna see him. He's gonna go against your boy's kid, Bronny James, man.
Cooper,
That's gonna be a goodie.
don't even all right, because I knew you was gonna mention him. Cooper Flag is not better than Bronny. Don't even think about that.
Yeah,
Don't think about
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Bronny,
yeah, yeah. I pledge allegiance to
Once
the
we see
flag.
Cooper Flag, once we see Cooper Flag, Bronny about to have 30. Like, we not playing
I
no damn
You lucky.
Cooper
You lucky.
Flag.
I'm about to
You
call my
want me to
son
say
Jay.
it? You want me to say it?
Say it. Do
You
I
want me
gotta
to
put in
say it?
subtitles?
Listen, man.
Do
Listen,
I gotta
man.
put in
You
subtitles for
talking
you?
about you talking about I gotta be more media trained. I'm gonna hold my tongue right now. All right, I ain't gonna say what I was gonna say. I'm on my tongue.
Yo.
Okay.
Hold on, man. We got my son Jelly J on. Yo, we live right now. We shooting this debatable episode.
Oh my god.
Tell these boys about Cooper Flag, bro. Niggas over here talking about
This
Ace
nigga
Bailey.
looking for help. This nigga looking
Wait,
for
wait,
help
hold on.
right now,
Let's say that
bro.
one time. Say that one time. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Let him know, bro. Let him
Listen,
know.
bro.
I pledge allegiance.
Jalen. Hold on. Let me talk to Jalen, bro.
Hold on, let me put it.
Yo,
Hold on. Let me put the audio on speaker for so you can. I
yo,
talk to.
yo, 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 listen. Ace Bailey is the best prospect in this draft, bro. Cooper Flag is a product of that Duke environment, bro. Ace Bailey got it out the mud, bro. Don't try to tell me that Ace Bailey is not better than Cooper Flag, Dylan Harper, VJ Edgecombe, all these players that went in front of him, bro. We know that Ace Bailey is a better pound for pound player, bro. Stop playing.
He was the best prospect in the class before he even went to Duke. So what does Duke got to do with anything? Let him know, bro. Let him know them
Bro,
EYBL highlights. Let him know.
because you know what these Duke players, the media is trying to push the narrative with these Duke players.
One went to Duke, one went up the block to Jersey and Rutgers.
Oh yeah, my boy getting it out the mud in the trenches, bro.
He's just not cool. He's just not cool. That's what I'm
Oh
trying to
my
tell him, bro.
god.
It's levels to this shit, bro. My son Coop.
Yo, tell Jalen to put $100 up. Ace Bailey win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. I'll take that bet. Utah, please, let's make that bet. He don't even want to be there. I'm telling him, bro.
All right, so it's live right now. It's live right now on the channel. I'm putting the money on the line. Ace Bailey will win Rookie of the Year, bro.
So that's a bet for me and Jalen. I mean, me and Jalen, just for Jalen.
Listen. I, I, I could take both of y'all fools' money.
All right, yo, start it up, bro. Yo, you heard it here first. Yo, y'all heard it here first. It's gonna be Justin put up that money. Rookie of the year will be Ace Bailey. All right, we heard it here first.
Come
Yo,
on, bro.
appreciate you, Jelly.
Listen, bro. Y'all niggas is drunk.
Nah, that's a good wager though. That's a good wager though. Nah,
You
yeah, we
try,
definitely got.
you try, you tried to tag in a friend. You corny, bro. You always start doing some corny shit.
Listen, bro.
You try to
Listen,
call
bro.
Jalen,
I I call it how I see it.
like.
I had to, yo, listen, bro. There's only one person I know that's a bigger Cooper Flag supporter than me. That's my son Jelly, yo. Shout out to my son Jelly, bro. That's definitely yeah. That's definitely
Bro,
the.
y'all can all I pledge allegiance to the flag. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit, bro. Fuck
Well,
all
you
that
better.
shit, bro.
You better. Fuck, I gotta put in subtitles. But yeah, but back to the draft though. Yeah, we still there's a lot of good prospects in this draft though. I'm definitely looking to see what they do. They got that the center from Duke, I believe Phoenix drafted as well. Um who else? I said the Fierce kid. I'm definitely a fan of him. I feel like Stephen A. Smith was kind of crazy for saying that's the second coming of Kyrie Irving, though. That was a little bit outlandish, though. But Jeremiah Fierce definitely that's one person I could say could be in the mix for rookie of the year though, if given the right opportunity. I feel like with DeJounte Murray being out, he definitely could be in a situation to where he could have the privilege of getting a little bit more touches. I'm looking at who else I'm looking at? I gotta look at it. I'm looking at a guy like VJ Edcombs, who everybody that's probably everybody's favorite player right now coming out. Just people saying that we need more players that are out the mud, out the trenches. Like feel me. Nowadays we're seeing basketball players like feel me. It's an expensive thing to get the right trainers to get into the right programs. We talking about a kid that literally was crying draft night saying that yo, I didn't have electricity or nothing for like 7 years. His mom is crying because they know the struggle, bro. Like, feel me? I think that makes for a good story. Like, definitely got like, feel me, a fan out of me though. Like, feel me? When you see somebody that get out the mud like that, it's definitely a good thing to see. Just all the hard work and dedication that you put in, all the sacrifice that parents put in, especially when they don't have it. Hearing that type of story definitely warms my heart to saying that, yo, that's definitely tough. Like, feel me? Now you know why he would play the way he does, why he got a chip on his shoulder for shit like that though. So I'm definitely a fan of that though. Been following this kid since Luhai though. Definitely played with Kyan Anthony. Definitely, somebody that he's a highlight. He's a highlight reel. He'll definitely be on Sports Center's top 10 highlights just by catching the body though. I seen him his first year in Baylor. I forgot it was in the beginning of the season. He caught a nasty body though. I'm talking about just really like feel me. He gets up there though. I'm definitely going to be looking out for a bunch of VJ Edgecombe highlights though. He's definitely tough though. But overall though, this draft I don't think is like based on like making superstars and all that. I feel it's just homegrown NBA players. Out of this draft class, maybe like 3 or 4 will get an All-Star nod, maybe within the years to come. Some might develop into superstar status though. But feel me, that's yet to be seen though. But overall though, I do like this draft class. I'm a good pay. Definitely close a lot of attention to this. And yeah, shout out to just everybody that's been drafted though. And even if y'all didn't get drafted though, shout out to those that are fighting for the summer league, trying to just make their way into the league though. That shit is not easy though. So just feel me, keep staying on the grind though. Yeah.
Nah, yeah. I didn't like Charlotte taking that kid at the fourth pick. I just feel like Charlotte always get a top three, top four pick, and they always just pick some crazy ass player. Besides Lamelo Ball, I think they're drafting. Well, besides Lamelo Ball and the Brandon Miller, I just feel like they just be dropping the ball sometimes. I feel like they should have took Ace Bailey if they had that opportunity, bro. But you can't miss out on a
I,
prospect like that, bro. Like, bro, I'm telling you, you gotta have some, bro. You gotta take the best available player, bro.
bro, that kid is not bad though. Like he put I'm watching him. It's different. I don't want to say the Con Knuckle kid. It's different. If I'm pronouncing his name wrong, I'm pronouncing him wrong. But watching him
Captain
at
Knuckles from Flapjack.
we can make fun of him. We can make fun of all we want. But feel me, I watched him for enough.
All
I
right,
watched
my
enough
fault,
Duke
bro. My
games
fault. My
to where I say, like, feel me, he's a floor spacer. He knows how to disease. He's very tenacious on attacking the basket. Feel me? He plays with heart. He probably gonna play more
He
defense than
just
Ace
went
Bailey.
to he just went to basketball purgatory, bro. His career shot. Come on, bro.
Listen.
Just stop.
So that would have been the same for Ace Bailey. Maybe in this system though, with a Will Hardy, maybe even though he don't want it, maybe it's a blessing in disguise for Ace Bailey to go
Nah,
to Utah.
Ace Bailey would have defied the odds, bro. I'm trying to tell you, like this is a
What?
generational
Man,
talent,
who
like
defied the
type
odds in
shit.
fucking Charlotte, bro? Charlotte is purgatory, bro. They have Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, LaMelo Ball, and they can't do shit right, bro. When was the last time we seen the Charlotte? And they was like, yo, they playing great basketball. The last time was when Gordon Hill was there and they got blown out by 40 in the plane, bro. I have not seen a Charlotte. Bro, I don't know what type of culture they got going on in there, though, but something needs to change. I don't know if they got to get out of Charlotte, man. I don't know what it is, bro. Them boys is trash. They have all the talent in the world, but them boys is trash. So if you're gonna do something, switch it up. Go ahead. But Ace Bailey going to Utah, it might be a blessing in disguise, though, because I definitely like the way the team has looked this far. They drafted the kid from Florida. What's his name? Um Walter.
Walton Clayton Jr.
Walter Clayton Jr. Yeah, definitely somebody that could be filming. You take an investment on, fell short in the draft, but you definitely take an investment on. They got the kid last year from the Kyle Flakowski dude, I believe. Who else they got? They got a bunch of players. The Keontae Georges of the world. I'm looking at a bunch of players like that. A young team, like I said, depending on what they want to do with Larry Marketing and fucking Walker Kessler. That's yet to be seen though. But they're working on something over there though. I think Ace Bailey just being in Utah and just having the primary focus of basketball and just less distractions would definitely, affect them in a positive way though. So I'm gonna keep an eye out on that too. And yeah, and even if they don't have the best season though, there's always a next year's draft to where we still got another bunch of loaded talent that's gonna probably come into, and you just add on from there though. But feel me, I feel like everything happens for a reason. I think Danny Ainge sees something to where he said, "Yo, I don't care if he doesn't want to play here. We're gonna make him play here though. It's not like you're not gonna just refuse to play basketball." So I'm looking at it like that. Danny Ainge know what he's doing. They definitely talked amongst the team, just the organization. They said, "Yeah, we're gonna take Ace Bailey with this pick."
Right. Shout out to all the kids that just got drafted. I hope they all have successful careers and they definitely make a name for themselves. Like I said, I do think the rookie of the year will be Ace Bailey. I think you're saying that Cooper Flag, that's your pick for rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was definitely going to be an interesting race. I definitely think there's going to be a lot of people in contention. So it's definitely something we're going to have to keep our eye out for. So shout out just to this whole NBA season. I was just thinking about it the other day. We just got through another NBA season. We got so much content done. Just shout out to all the fans that support us and watch our content. I know sometimes I may say a lot of crazy shit. Sometimes Seb, you know, starts missing episodes and starts bugging out and things of that nature. But we're just gonna keep going and just keep giving y'all this NBA content. NBA with the new media deal, they're gonna be moving on to Peacock and I think NBC and a lot of different networks. So shout out to all the people that they signed over there. It's gonna be a lot of retired players, just doing a lot of NBA coverage. So it's definitely gonna be interesting. We seen Michael Jordan supposedly got signed to be doing certain games. So hearing his takes on the game and things like that definitely gonna be interesting. But just to finish it off, just give me your favorite moment just from this NBA season.
Favorite moment from the NBA season. From a bias standpoint, I'd say just watching the first two games against the Boston Celtics versus the New York Knicks, just watching that live, just watching them both times down from 20 points and just making that comeback and just having the city on tilt. Watching that live is just like, damn. Just when you make the like, feel me, when you're down in the game by 20, a lot of times it's over. In 2K, you get 21, you pass the sticks. So you watching it live, it's like, yo, can they do this shit again? I think that was probably my favorite part. If not that, then just I think it mostly comes from the playoffs. I think just the playoffs in general. I think this year's playoffs was very just competitive, was peak atmosphere. I'm watching just everything from the Clippers to the Denver Nuggets series. I'm watching just the Pacers and the Bucks go at it, trash talking each other. Just overall, just the NBA playoffs was just very competitive to me. The first round of basketball, especially like the refs is very lenient. They're playing physical basketball. People are getting each other's faces. The refs are letting them play. It was very good for viewership too, as well. We spoke about it numerous times to where it was like, yo, this playoff basketball was just different. So that's definitely been my favorite part of the season. If not that, then just watching what was it? Just watching this the new Lakers when it was going on their run to where Luka Doncic and Braun won on like I believe it was a 9-game winning streak before they lost to Boston, and Braun had like the hamstring pull.
All right,
Is
but
that
hold on, hold on, but hold on, but hold on, but hold on,
stop
hold on, hold on, hold
interrupting
on.
me every time it comes to the fucking
All right,
Lakers?
but no, but hold on, but hold on, but hold on, but hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I asked for your one favorite moment, bro. You can't just just
All
say
right, this
mad
was
different moments, bro. Cause that no, but
that
you
that was
have one moment, like
all right, all right, all right, all
because
right, all right,
you know
all
what you
right.
really
Time, nigga,
did.
time,
You
time,
really
time,
just
time,
took my moment. You took
time,
my moment.
time. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. We can share this moment together, brother. We'll share that moment, brother. Luka Doncic, brother.
Just end the show, bro. You just completely ruined everything, bro. Just end it. Just end the show, bro.
Well, we still got WWE. I combined it all into one though. So should I just make it separately? All right. So we're gonna
All right.
take away WWE's
Well, just end the
prediction.
show.
Okay. All right. So, yep, that's gonna do it for this episode of It's Debatable. Appreciate you guys for tapping in for our NBA segments. We still have a lot to talk about with free agency coming up. Summer League gonna be around the corner. A lot of stuff going on though. Please watch out for these developments for the NBA. You might just see us in Summer League basketball in Vegas. We might be watching Cooper Flag, Dylan Harper, fucking Ace Bailey, all these kids live. We might be over there though. You don't know what we got coming up next though. Definitely keep tuning in though. We appreciate everybody for supporting just the platform in general though. Please do run up that video our Fanatics vlog recap though. Yeah, definitely a lot of funny insights though. A lot of funny shit. I'm looking back at it. Yo, a lot of good moments though. I want to appreciate you, Justin, for this being just the MVP of that weekend, bro. Just interacting with a lot of fans, all type of shit, bro. I'm looking back at these videos weak as fuck, bro. Like, feel me? Shout out to you, best partner in the world, bro. Like, feel me? Like, we start the shit for the ground up, and we only going up from here, though. Yeah. But other than that, yo, run up that video, though. It's definitely doing a couple numbers, though. I like where the numbers is at, though. We're gonna continue to do these vlogs, though. SummerSlam coming up. Whatever events is coming up next, though, we're gonna do some vlogs, though. But appreciate this. It's
Yeah,
gonna wrap
that's
it up
a
for the NBA segment. What'd you say?
Nah, am I supposed to go? I thought you was ending it.
Oh yeah, all right.